Hey everyone, and welcome. I am your host and master teacher, and today we are diving headfirst into a really exciting explainer all about the mechanics of global pop culture. For those of you joining our Grade 8 Music and Arts explainer, we are focusing squarely on how emerging Asian arts are completely reshaping the globe. Because, this isn't just about entertainment, it's about understanding the actual cultural currents shaping our world today. So let's jump right in. All right, before we get bogged down in the heavy academic vocab for today's topic, let me hit you with a massive question to kick things off. Why exactly is Korean culture taking over the globe right now? I mean, we see it literally everywhere, but what are the actual underlying mechanics behind this whole phenomenon?
Let's start by looking at something you're probably already obsessed with. Think about the sheer explosive energy, the super catchy tunes, and that flawlessly synchronized choreography of your favorite K-pop groups. It's never just a song, is it? It's a high-quality production packed with stunning visuals, massive elaborate sets, and really intricate storytelling that just pulls you into the narrative.
Or, hey, maybe this is more your speed. You instantly recognize these vibrant, mind-blowing visuals from world-famous anime and manga, right? Whether it's the distinct art style or those completely unique narrative traditions, these Asian art forms have undeniably shaped how we view, consume, and actually participate in global entertainment today by seamlessly mashing up music, technology, and visual art.
So here is our quick roadmap for today. We'll be hitting the Asian pop wave, unpacking cultural homogenization, looking at the rise of Asianness, exploring cross-cultural collaborations, and finally, reflecting on our own culture.
Let's dive right into Section 1, the Asian pop wave, a true global phenomenon. Now, looking at genres like K-pop and J-pop side by side is super interesting. They have totally distinct vibes, but they complement each other so perfectly. K-pop, it's all about that intricate storytelling and highly synchronized choreography to really build an artist's brand. On the flip side, J-pop gives us this totally unique hybrid style. It mixes foreign music traditions with a very distinct Japanese twist, creating a really fresh, multicultural music landscape. But both of them absolutely nail visual storytelling and catchy melodies to cross borders and capture these massive, massive global audiences. Okay, moving on to Section 2, homogenization, unpacking the concept. Now that we've seen the art, we need to build our academic toolkit. First up is cultural homogenization. I know, it sounds like a mouthful, but it's a huge part of cultural globalization. It basically happens when global trends cause different cultures to blend and just become more similar over time. Because so many customs, ideas, and values spread like wildfire and become wildly popular globally, we actually see a reduction in cultural diversity. People all over the world literally start doing, wearing, and believing similar things.
But wait, right alongside that we have interculturalism. And this is where things get really dynamic. This is all about the active sharing and collaboration happening between two or more different cultures. It's not just one big culture steamrolling another. It's a two-way street where cultures connect, interact, and genuinely influence each other's art, music, and traditions.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 3, the rise of Asianness, a global surge. So what exactly is Asianness? Well, it describes this massive global surge of popular Asian culture, like the anime, K-pop, and manga we just looked at. But here's the crazy part. It's not just about Asian countries exporting their art to us. Asianness also includes how non-Asian countries are now creating their own commercial responses. They are actively trying to replicate that exact same magic and style right in their own local markets. To put that into perspective, just look at Southeast Asia. Asianness is thriving there. Take Indonesia, for instance. They continually rank at the absolute top for YouTube views of K-pop. And why? Well, Indonesian youth grow up super familiar with traditional dances, so they are just naturally drawn to K-pop's unique, rigorous choreography. Meanwhile, over in Thailand, youth society is basically engulfed by Korean pop culture, from the music and drama to the tech and the food. And that kind of environment has helped propel local Thai artists like Lisa from Blackpink to absolute, undeniable global superstardom. It is literally staggering to watch this timeline build. Just rewind back to 2012. Psy's Gangnam Style dropped, hitting 1 billion YouTube views and introducing these intense tempos and stylized visuals to the West. Back then, a lot of people thought, oh, it's just a one-off novelty. I mean, that same year, the first US K-Con only pulled in a few hundred fans. But look at the explosion. By 2017, US K-Con attendance had skyrocketed to over 125,000 people. And by 2018, BTS made history as the very first K-pop band to play a US stadium at Citi Field. In just a handful of years, we're talking about a movement that morphed into a $5 billion global industry. Insane, right?
That explosive growth naturally brings us to Section 4, collaborations and cross-cultural exchange.
Because art forms like anime are just so universally loved now, we are seeing some incredible intercultural interchanges. Western media is actively adopting anime-style characteristics. You've got Western artists collaborating directly with Japanese creators, honoring the genre while drawing huge inspiration from it. This actively expands the creative perspectives on both sides of the globe, and the result? Audiences everywhere get these totally fresh, cross-cultural stories that foster a much deeper appreciation for diverse artistic traditions.
And you literally can't talk about interculturalism without talking about the evolution of cosplay. It is such a vivid example. It actually started way back in the 1970s as a niche hobby in Japan. Fast forward to 1984, and a Japanese reporter named Nob Takahashi goes to a sci-fi convention in Los Angeles, sees fans dressed up, and officially coins the term cosplay. In the 80s in the US, this was just tiny groups of fans cramming into modest hotel rooms to nerd out over Japanese pop culture. And today, it's a massive, vibrant, global convention phenomenon. It's just the perfect example of how cultural practices travel, evolve, and just bring people together.
Finally, it is time for Section 5, Reflecting on Our Culture, where we step back and act as true master learners. All right, master learners, to wrap up today's explainer, I want you to do a 3-2-1 feedback activity, exactly like we do in the classroom. Grab your notebooks and take a second to jot down 3 things you learned today, maybe a new insight on cultural homogenization. Then write down 2 fun facts that surprised you, maybe something about the origin of cosplay or BTS selling out Citi Field. And finally, give me one burning question you still have. What are you most excited to learn next about Asian performance arts?
And to leave you with one final provocative thought for today, what is your one-word closure? If you had to pick just one single word to sum up your experience of how Asian arts are reshaping global culture today, what would it be? Is it dynamic? Is it unstoppable? Think deeply about it. Keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you in our next explainer.